I still haven't cooled down.
Michael B. Jordan for Superman.
Man, don't do that shit. Like I can't. I will never get behind that because it's not like I have anything against Michael B. Jordan. I don't. I actually was one of the few people who knew who he was.
I mean, the majority of people are not going to realize that there are black Supermen in the comic books.
And that's why I'm
I can
like,
see
please don't do
huge
that.
backlash.
Yeah,
Superman's not black. In this universe, he is.
yeah. That's basically it's like I was telling Jordan. I told Ian. I was like, yo, can you imagine the backlash if the greatest and most influential superhero of all time just shows up black, and all the casual fans are like, what? Like, sorry, not even fans. These people don't read fucking comics. Like,
I mean, the fans of the movies, but not fans of the comics. That's what I hate when people start talking about. Oh, this character could be this character. Well, it's been proven in this comic book that that's not the case.
it's not even. They're not even fans of the comics or like the TVs or the movies and shit. Because it's Superman. Like, who the fuck in America does not know? Who the fuck in the world doesn't know Superman? Like, so it's got a real chance of being one of the worst moves DC would ever make in their life.
Yeah, I would say they're better off just going with Supergirl.
Yeah, or do Icon. For God's sake, they own the fucking property. Like,
Yeah, but with Icon, then you have to bring in like Icon's not as noticeable as a Supergirl.
who fucking cares? Man, nobody
Money
cared.
cares.
Nobody cared about who wanted,
And
that
then you know
one.
what wouldn't be worse? I can hear people saying that Icon is a Superman ripoff.
Oh, I definitely can hear that. But I'm saying, like, there's a bunch of heroes. Like, nobody knew who the fuck Iron Man was before 2009. Really, they didn't. They didn't give a shit.
Well, except for the fans. So
And that's a very small sect of America. And now he's, like, everywhere. Nobody knew who the fuck Thanos was. I don't, like, unless you played Marvel 2 or like
yeah,
watched a bunch of obscure cartoons that were, supposedly for kids, nobody knew who Thanos was, or the Infinity Gauntlet, or that entire classic
yeah, I
storyline.
have to agree because a lot of these characters that people are just now getting to know Thanos, all that they've been in video games a long time ago. Like this was Marvel Gems. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot it was some Super Nintendo game that
Yeah,
I played.
Marvel Gems, Marvel Superheroes, what you call it, X Men vs Street Fighter, where the rest of those characters showed up. Um, Marvel Superheroes, where Doctor Doom and Thanos both came in, and Thanos was an impossible boss.
Yeah.
Um, the Infinity Gauntlet arc is from the 1990s. It's 20 years old at this point. So, yeah, people didn't know who that was. There was nobody whispering about Thanos other than the comic community, and that's a small community. But with Infinity War, memes galore. He's in several different games as a cameo now.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah.
Like, so, if you do it right, you'll be fine. Just do it right. Don't be stupid.
But DC has already proven that they're not going to do it right.
Oh my god! Like they keep, being a DC fan right now is like just standing in a rain with no umbrella, and it's
Well, God pisses on you.
yeah, pretty much. like basically, except change out God for just DC executives. Ugh,
Piss on you till it's rain. Yeah. I I just don't get it. It's not that hard, to be honest.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Dan Didio kind of knows what he's doing, not really. He's headed towards another crisis in the comics, and I'm not happy about that. Bendis broke up Superman's marriage. Batman's
I
marriage never
still
happened.
haven't read that. I don't know if I want to.
Don't. Bendis is a terrible writer. We've already been over this.
Yeah.
We've been.
Like I said, I loved his work with the early Ultimate Spider-Man graphic novels, but that's pretty much it.
I think he probably did better with that character because he made him. But he also made Riri, which is. But I think because the Ultimate Universe didn't have as many stipulations, you know, the Ultimate Universe didn't have a Spider-Man, so he made one. But
Yeah.
the main universe did have an Iron Man, so it was like, all right, well, we're going to make Iron Man act like a giant asshole and have him put into a coma and be quote unquote dead, so this new character can come and take a place. And I was just like, man, this is not how you do it. But yeah, no, I don't see.
Okay, Action Comics 1001 2018. Acclaimed writer Brian Michael Bendis, new chapter for the Man of Steel and the World of Tomorrow begins here. I guess it's time to download this.
Yeah, please download it illegally. Just do it. Just don't give him money. I don't know what else to read. Well, I do know what else to read. I don't know what DC to read. I don't.
Like I said, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been reading anything from DC and like I've been straight up independent comic books now.
Same. Because like Marvel just can't stop making mistakes in their comics, so fuck it. And DC is just like, yo, we could do that better. So it's like, all right, indie comics for me.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Their sales are going down.
But you know, the White Knight was probably the last. The White Knight and Doomsday Clock were probably the last series from DC that I really paid attention to.
I mean,
I love the White Knight. Doomsday Clock, again, it's just the weight.
I don't know, man. I don't really feel too good about Doomsday Clock. I don't know how I feel about that because they brought back Comedian, and that's kind of like the big. That's
defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that's what kicks off the plot of Watchmen. So it's like you're kind of rendering the original story pointless.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. I mean, it's nowhere near as dark as Watchmen either. Like, there's a couple of bloody scenes and a few cursing like moments, but
it's not nearly as dark or mature as Watchmen. Yeah,
nowhere near as depressing. Like, I'm not gonna see a scene of someone knocking a woman down and trying to rape her in Doomsday Clock. I can guarantee it.
I mean, you may have an implication, but I don't see them actually showing it.
Yeah, like, come on, there's a bunch of pussies. They're not going to do that. That's why I'm just like, the whole idea of bringing back Watchmen, I don't know, man.
Well, now you have the HBO series coming out as well,
Man,
which is supposed to be a sequel.
Just leave that shit alone. Alan Moore hates the fuck out of everyone who keeps doing this.
Oh, damn near everyone, yeah.
Like, just leave the shit alone. Like, he wrote it for a specific purpose, and he successfully completed that purpose. But everybody's like, it's like that same
capitalism.
It's that same thing that happened with The Dark Knight Returns. People keep touching themselves to that fucking story. It's just like, oh, Dark Knight Returns, so good. Fuck, I'm so close. My nigga.
They see how far they can take it, but again, there are so many other Batman stories out there that you can adapt, and that's the problem that I have.
Way more. That's the thing. There's way more than that. There's way more than the death of Superman. I just don't know if the people at DC have read the characters they control.
I think they. You mean the studios or
the people heading up the projects?
I think they've read what they consider the important graphic novels.
The ones that sell.
Pretty much.
For the fucking.
Or the ones that are considered classic.
The reason Superman the animated series did so well was because it knew the source material. It didn't try to go for cheap stories, based on something, I don't know, from the Christopher Reeve movies. Or anything that people knew from the earlier Superman cartoons. It really looked as though Bruce Timm understood the character he was writing from top to bottom. And
to be honest, he was the definitive Superman for me growing up.
He's a great Superman. And still, in my opinion, outside of the comic book character before Bendis, he is the definitive Superman, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, bar none.
But he had layers to him. Like he wasn't a perfect person.
Not at all. He had.
Like I said, that fight with Shazam, I think that was one of the most important, moments that
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Where he's. Like, where Superman is finally pushed to his edge. Like, that is something that
Something
shows.
you
Like,
expect from Batman, but apparently Batman's smarter around that.
fucking Batman.
You
Wanker.
expect technically Superman is smarter than Batman, but whenever they're around, Batman seems to be the smartest. Guess it depends on the writer.
I don't even know, man. That's just. What's the movie slate again? I know. Is it Wonder
For
Woman?
DC,
Yeah, the
you have
animated
Wonder
movies.
Woman 1980 something.
Oh no, I'm going for the animated movies
Okay, the animated movie.
because I don't give a fuck about I don't care about Aquaman. I already know it's gonna be bad.
Welcome to my boat.
Like, I want to be optimistic about Batman, but at the same time,
Batman movie's not happening. Superman sequel's not happening. What else?
yeah. I meant, did I say Batman? I meant Aquaman. I want to be optimistic about Aquaman, but as soon as I saw Black Manta's in it,
Black Manta looks
he looks
bad for some reason,
he looks good to me.
but he looks too CGI'd for me.
I mean, the whole movie
Like
looks
I've
CGI,
seen
man.
yeah, and I don't know why.
Yeah, the whole
If you're gonna
movie.
if you're gonna use an abundance of CGI, at least have it look good.
I mean,
Like I think Marvel has used so much CGI. I look at the behind the scenes on Marvel, and they use CGI where they don't really have to, and it still looks good. I can't tell until I look at the process.
yeah, but I mean, DC, nah, man, we gotta do that to the mouth and everything else. It's gotta. But the thing is, the reason I say I gave up because I saw Black Manta is because they're doing the same thing. This is the same thing that sunk Batman v Superman. It's the same thing that sunk Spider-Man 3. Trying to have too many villains. You're gonna have to flesh out Black Manta at some point, at least a little bit, and it's gonna take up too much time in the movie. And I don't know James Wan's directing record for action films.
He's good with action. With story, you're not gonna get anything special.
So yeah, I'm not very hopeful about this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to be, but DC is just not sticking with me right now. They're
I mean,
not.
at this point, it's like your biggest players are out. So when you remove Batman and Superman after
Yeah,
poorly, trying to build them up as important characters, how can you go forward?
by trying to forget that they exist or something. That's the stupidest. But the
Oh, and did you hear about the Superman cameo that was supposedly supposed to be in Shazam? Apparently, it's supposed to arrive at the end and say, "Hey, we're gonna keep a lookout for you."
yes, that's why the whole talks broke down. I guess they couldn't agree to what he was gonna do in the cameo or something.
I thought it was about payment.
Uh, what I had read, at least the initial article, they said that he was out because talks about a cameo broke down. I'm pretty sure money's probably a factor
Yeah.
too. Because Justice League did not sell. That's just a hard fact of life. And
There were
DC,
too many problems behind the movie for people to feel optimistic about it.
yeah, because basically they had 2 movies worth of people buying tickets based on prestige rather than, word of mouth.
Hmm.
Man of Steel, it's like, oh, this is the Superman movie that's like Batman Begins. This is the movie we've been waiting for our whole lives. Yes, Superman's gonna be cool again. And then it turned out to be shit. And then the next movie, oh, Superman versus Batman. This is the movie I've been waiting for since I was a kid. I can finally, show up my friends. This will settle the DBZ versus Superman debate, Goku versus Superman debate. And it was bought off purely prestige. Then that movie ended up being shit. And Justice
Hmm.
League is basically three times the charm. It's like, all right, well, I already bought 2 movies worth of tickets for movies that I thought were going to be good based on hype. I know this one's going to suck. You guys have a track record.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman surprised everybody and managed to give people, hope for,
It surprised everybody for being good.
yeah. And it made money based off word of mouth. It's like, wow, this movie doesn't suck dick. Amazing. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, that's basically how I felt, too. I honestly went into the movie with bad thoughts, to be honest. Like, I'd seen Suicide Squad, I'd watched Man of Steel, and I'd seen Batman v Superman before I'd seen Wonder Woman. And I was just like, I was hearing so many good things about it. I was like, yeah, this movie's actually really, really good. Holy shit. Action was great, the acting was great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just looking like, man, I done watched 3 films that were like equivalent to flogging myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have high hopes. I went in there with the lowest possible bar, and I was surprised. I I felt genuine happiness.
Yeah, because your standards were low.
Yeah, that was the only time I lowered them. I think that's the only time I've ever lowered my standards for a film, because I don't usually keep my standards low. They're usually just like,
Just there.
I expect you to, if it's an action movie, I expect you to engage me in the acting, into the action, into the plot. I expect all of this just basic from a movie. Action film, I hope the action is at least good and I'm entertained. If it's a mystery movie, I hope the mystery is good. If it's a horror movie, I hope I get a couple of, shocks.
Without jump scares.
Yeah, but America, man. So,
Yeah.
either way, I go into those movies basically expecting you to get like a 70 passing grade. That's how I grade my movies, and I usually go lower or higher from there. Wonder Woman, I went in with like a 50. I was like, all right, all you need to do is give me one good scene, and I'll pass. I'll pass you. My shit was really fucking low. Just put your name on the paper, and I will give you a 50.
I don't know, like
That's how I feel. That's just
DC movies are supposed to be epic, and
it's supposed to be good.
not just good, but epic.
And
And I'd rather read the comics than watch the movies or the TV series.
oh my god, that's the thing. These characters are all larger than life characters.
But the blueprint's already there for the characters. How do you screw up the characters when you're writing them for a movie? Like, you already have plenty of basis for them.
I honestly don't know. I just don't know. I really would love. I want to go to a
remember
con.
that video where he was talking about the Marvel movies where they take bits and pieces from the comic books, but you still have a sense of who the characters are because they write them as such with the influence.
Right. That's exactly right.
You don't just go into the movie is expected to know, who these characters are.
And
They still build them up.
DC took shortcuts and is just like, don't you know who Superman is? So that's why him killing Zod is a bad thing. Be sad. But you can't work like that. And the whole film, you're showing me things that Superman just doesn't do. Like, some dude throws a drink at him in a bar, so he spears his fucking work. How does he know that man doesn't have a family to feed?
I mean, I didn't have a problem with that.
I do.
But it was like,
That's a terrible... Come on, man. Superman does not do that to people.
yeah, but this was a different,
And
it's a different type of Superman.
And that's the point. They were telling me this is comic book Superman. At the end of the movie, But the whole entire other parts of the film, they're telling me, nah, this is our Superman. Our
It's like
Superman does this.
here's an example. If they were to adapt All Star Batman and Robin, I if you're gonna do stuff like that, you have to commit and you have to at least have character development. Where I don't really look at I don't really compare the characters from the movies to the comic books. I keep them separate, but they're still characters and you have to develop them well. So I can say, hey, Batman was like this and here, and Batman was like this and here, and I don't want to say, hey, Batman was bad in this movie because they were trying something new.
Well, what I want to say is you can't take shortcuts.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically what I'm saying.
yeah, like that's the thing. That's why I had a problem with Man of Steel because Man of Steel, I just had no sense of who this character that's supposed to be Superman is.
And you
I
didn't care
had
for the character at all.
no grasp of his ideologies or anything. Just his father telling him it might be an okay choice to let a bunch of children drown. And
Yeah, that was stupid writing.
yeah, I don't. But he never once gives us ideologies of his own other than you fuck with me, alright, I'm gonna destroy your job. But at the end of the film, they're like, okay,
You know what? Now that I think about that scene, it's just I have to agree with you now because that scene looks bad, and it makes you think, what is Pa Kent teaching Superman at
yeah,
this point?
him just using, he doesn't use his powers for anything at that point other than saving people and settling petty debts. Like, who is this Hancock? Come on.
Yeah, like when Hancock did it, it made sense.
Yeah, because
That's his
Hancock is
character.
literally established as an asshole, but
Yeah.
Superman isn't established as anything. And that's the first thing I'm actually given where he makes an emotional response to a situation, and his response is literally to get rid of somebody's job. I mean, okay, fuck that guy's family, fuck that guy. But oh my god, don't you know it's Superman from the comic books? Be sad that he killed Zod.
Yeah.
But he says fuck anybody who messes with him in the first place. Like, and furthermore, what that scene demonstrates is how far is Superman willing to go in this universe? Well, I guess we already know that when he killed Zod. Because, yeah. But he knows he's more powerful than that dude. And also, a weird thing about that scene is, how did that even happen? I'm sorry to linger on this scene, it's just stupid. But how did that happen and no one hear it?
I have no idea. Super comic book logic.
I guess. You know what? We'll chalk it up to comic book logic. But yeah, that's... And Henry Cavill, he's not, like... He's not Will Smith or Marlon Brando or anything like that. Or
I think for Superman, when given the right lines and writing, he's perfect.
Yeah. I think he has decent acting. He doesn't have very good facial expressions. But he has decent acting.
Well, I don't see him having a lot of range, but I've only seen him as Superman and that Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah. And where he was throwing hands, boy. I need to go
Yeah.
and see the rest of that film. But, I think if he's given the proper script, perhaps he'd be a good Superman. I think Justice League in that beginning shot, that was embarrassing, but I felt like it was a step in the right direction for the writing. It's just, it kind of implied that his only favorite thing about planet Earth is Lois Lane. Fuck all the rest of you, which explains the end of Man of Steel. So I said a step in the right direction, but not there yet.
Yeah.
And with him leaving, possibly, because DC released a statement saying, essentially, we like Henry Cavill. That's it. They didn't they didn't come out and deny whether or not he would be leaving the DCEU. And
And honestly, once he leaves, where's really the commitment outside of being a comic book fan? Because Henry Cavill just did Mission Impossible, which is doing numbers and
mhm,
has received critical acclaim. So that's he's a star in right there in that movie. So now
yeah,
just lost another star. First Ben Affleck, now Henry Cavill.
because he's going to The Witcher on Netflix.
Yeah,
He's going to be playing Geralt. So, you know, they're not exactly dealing with a free agent here. He has options.
yeah,
WV does not have the cards. So, and I feel though as though if if DC really cared about Cable, and because let's be clear, he's headlining their most popular superhero and the most well known superhero on the planet in movies. And a lot of people agree
hmm
he is definitely an aesthetic match for Superman. And with better writing, he possibly can nail the role. This is their flagship property. If they cared about keeping him, they would have came right out and said this is false. But they didn't. Cable's agent said essentially, relax, we're still working with DC. But they didn't say he's still Superman. This is sketchy.
yeah.
Like, where are we supposed to go from here? You know,
It's buried. The DCEU is buried.
I think that's pretty much where we're going to have to see. Because I'm not sure if this is confirmed. Didn't Ben Affleck threaten to leave if Cable's out?
I have no idea.
Because I don't know if that was just hearsay or...
Oh wait, are we recording the podcast now or?
Yeah.
All right, okay. We're in.
Yep.
I was about to say no one had an intro or anything.
We'll cover that later. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I mean, Ben Affleck's like, yeah, I'm leaving too. You're losing Superman and Batman. These are your two flagship series.
The funny thing about it is Ben Affleck was decently received as Batman.
I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought that the characterization...
of course they ruined him in Justice League, but
They ruined him in BVS. Murderous psychopath?
I mean,
Sadist?
here's the thing. So,
Don't tell me.
I didn't have that much of a problem with him using guns and all that. My problem was that he was using actual bullets. You could retcon that to say he was using what's it called, rubber bullets, and boom, I'm good.
I don't think that works.
As far as blowing people up and all that, he's not the only Batman who's done that.
But this is an entirely new Batman.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I don't think the rubber bullets thing will work because the only time, if I'm remembering the movie correctly, the only time he actually used a legitimate gun was in The Nightmare.
yeah, Nightmare, and he grabbed a hold of one of the henchmen's guns and shot it towards the other henchman. He didn't kill anybody or shoot anybody, but
He
he
shot-
shot towards them.
He shot the guy's propane tank or fuel tank for the flamethrower,
Yeah.
and somehow
But again, that's another. I don't know. That's nothing. When I look at Batman, I can't realistically think, hey, this is a superhero who will go his entire career without killing somebody. At some point, you're gonna kill a few people.
are you making excuses?
I am trying to add logic with the character. Of course, he's he's a comic book character, but still, someone like Superman, I don't expect him to kill people
I mean,
unless
Superman
he's
has
pushed
killed.
to that injustice breaking point.
Superman has killed before.
Yeah, he's killed before.
He's killed things. He's killed Zod before. He's killed Doomsday. The thing is, Batman himself, his whole
And again, that's nothing. But Batman's also killed before, and he's been proud of it. He's killed. I forgot what's that comic book where he's like, I've killed monkeys before, and talking to Gorilla Grodd. It was a Batman Superman comic book actually.
that's dark. I mean, I have no problem with him killing, sort of. Not really. No, I definitely
I
think
mean, no, but nobody calls out superheroes for killing an anthropomorphic characters or
anthropomorphic.
anybody who's not human like they are.
I think that Batman in Batman v Superman killing was nah, it wasn't okay. I want to try and give him a pass for it, but the reason he was doing it was because he was a huge xenophobe. The dude was just
True.
breaking laws left and right to go and get Lex Luthor's weapons to kill Superman. Because
Yeah.
if Superman hadn't shown up, those people would not be dead. They had nothing to do with them, but he throws cars on them. Like, that wasn't okay. So, and for the guns thing, that's not Batman. Batman's whole thing is I don't use
But it
guns.
wasn't. I guess it
That's
never really was established in with this
yeah,
Batman
it wasn't
that hey, I'm not going to use a gun because a gun killed my parents.
pretty much. There's nothing established by this
To me,
Batman.
it kind of seemed like what's that? The Dark Knight Returns,
Yeah,
where
that's
you had him in that tank and he was like the rubber bullets.
yeah,
Yeah, to make
and
it clear.
Snyder Snyder kind of didn't catch that, and you see that he just debased the character because we don't know exactly what exactly is his ideology. Does he hate Superman because he's too powerful? Because he's letting Lex Luthor, I don't even know. So he hates Superman because his employees died in the aftermath of Man of Steel. But
Yeah.
he stops from killing Superman because they have the same. The mother's names are the same.
See that scene. I know a lot of people have a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it. I
It,
thought it was a good scene for a psychological trigger.
it in conception, it's a good scene because it's a scene where
I mean, the only
here
reason why I think it wasn't executed well is because everything prior to it wasn't executed well.
I think that in concept the scene was basically supposed to be the astronomical chance that Superman says something that triggers Batman's humanity, would in theory be a heartfelt moment and a coming back to character. But my
Hmm.
problem with it is that he stops from killing Superman because Superman said his mother's name and Batman. Oh my god. Who says. Fuck. Okay, this scene is so hard. It's so hard to
How?
accurately.
It's a pretty simple scene.
Who says their mother's first name?
To someone who doesn't know their mother's name, I could see. For me, it wouldn't make any sense to say, "Save mommy, save my mother." Okay, who's your mother?
He knows who his mother is. He figured out his
Well,
identity.
Batman did was it established that he knew who the mother was.
I would assume. You know what? I'm gonna make an
Because it wasn't
assumption.
established that. Yeah, it wasn't
I'm
established
gonna make an
that.
assumption if he found out his identity, because I think it was implied or even revealed that he knew Clark's identity. He would have found out his mother. I but save Martha. to a guy who's about to murder him, who's only been
Yeah.
shown as a raging psychopath with a bloodlust. Mind you,
Yeah, like I
Superman's.
said, I didn't have a problem with the scene. It was everything prior to that.
Well, here's the thing: Superman up to that
That's
point.
why the build up to that.
Go ahead. The build up.
That's why the build up to that point made the scene to me seem like the execution of it anyway it wouldn't have made sense.
But the thing is, Superman up to that point only knew Batman as a human rights violating psychopath who everyone is afraid of. Why would he beg for him
Hmm.
to save somebody?
I have no idea.
See, that's where it all falls apart. That's like asking the
Yeah, that's what
Joker.
I'm saying. Before the scene, that's why the scene itself doesn't work because everything prior to it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But I mean, I guess it's a
And what I'm saying
domino
is,
effect for the
if the
movie.
movie was written well enough prior to that moment,
I think it still would have
it
been a stupid
might
moment.
have made sense.
Yeah, it still would have been stupid, but less stupid.
Okay, see, I thought it was smart, but I
I
guess everybody split on that one.
I just can't agree. Sorry, my natural impulse is not to call out my mother's name. If I was to be in that situation, I'd be like, look, I know you're going to kill me here, but could you at least save my mother? Her name is Martha.
I
That
mean, his foot was on the dude's neck.
I mean, look, let's not even talk about the inconsistency with the kryptonite. I kind of want to jump over the subject too because kryptonite is actually inconsistent in this movie because the kryptonite spear, I think in the next couple minutes, probably like 10 minutes later, because Lois Lane throws it in the water for some god fucking reason. Why was that in the movie? I guess she no,
To
because
give her something
Batman
to
threw it
do, I
away.
suppose.
Yeah, Batman threw it away. He was like, "Okay, well, I'm Batman again." He threw it, and then she's like,
Which was
"Fuck this
stupid
shit."
of Batman. I think it was stupid writing of his because he could have still used it for Doomsday. I'm not sure why he wasn't thinking about that.
I don't even think he knew that Zod was Doomsday.
Yeah.
So he throws the kryptonite spear, and then Lois Lane's like, "Yo, fuck this shit," ah, and throws it in the water, and then almost drowns getting it back. But this wouldn't have happened if you had
I
just
mean,
left
it
the
just
spear
doesn't make
alone.
any sense for Batman to do it in the first place because then somebody else could get a hold of it and use
Yeah,
it to kill Superman.
yeah, yeah. That's also true. Somebody else could just get their hands on it, like Lex or something. And then the kryptonite in the scene where Superman goes under the water, it knocks him the fuck out immediately. Like he has it in his hand, but
Yeah.
it knocked him out. But in the scene prior to that with the kryptonite spear, it's right next to his fucking face. And he's somehow conscious. Question mark? Movie logic? Does it put him out of his misery or not?
I have no idea how that would work.
Because
But yeah, yeah.
he was implied to not like be right next to it. It was in his hand in the water. He grabbed it, he floated back to the top with it in the dead man's float. He had it in his hand, so it was in relatively reasonable distance of his face, we'll say. But he literally just got slashed, cut right skin contact with the kryptonite spear. The scene before, and he was fine.
Yeah.
Struggling, but fine. Which one is it? This movie sucks.
You have to throw that one in there.
This movie
So
is,
everybody knows, I think the movie sucks.
just in case you weren't clear of my stance on Batman v Superman, it sucks. Okay? I would watch
You're mad at
Inhumans.
the whole movie. I'm just mad that I went to theaters to see it, knowing that there will be an ultimate cut. I feel like I got ripped off, to be honest.
I got ripped
That's
off
what
too.
I'm
I
mad
watched
at.
the Ultimate Cut.
I have no idea with watching a bad movie if it's complete.
I fucking wasted 3 hours of my time watching that. I feel fucking ripped off. Like that shit was, and the shit they cut out of the movie actually like worked in the movie's favor. They were like, "Yo, this
Yeah,
makes too much sense. Gotta cut it out." But let's keep the storyline with the bullet. Why?
yeah. Too many stupid decisions
Why was the bullet
in the
storyline
movie
in the
and
film?
marketing the movie.
Fuck me, that movie sucks. Jeez. How do we even get this far into this goddamn scene? Fuck. Oh, yeah, that's
I
right. We were
have no
talking
idea.
about
We were supposed to be talking about
Batman's
Black Superman.
inconsistent. Batman's inconsistent characterization in the DCEU. Uh, just yeah. And then we were talking about Black Superman and how this would be bad. We kind of got off track.
Yeah.
But I mean, Black Superman. Honestly, don't do it. Do not do it. I know.
Regular
People,
Superman hasn't been established, so why bring in another Superman?
yeah, don't do that because the casuals they're not gonna read. Casuals don't read, and you're making movies for casuals. That's the whole point of an adaptation. You're making movies for the casuals. The hardcore fans are gonna enjoy it, but you're looking for the casuals so you can convert them over to reading. It's not gonna happen because they're fucking casuals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at least they get some entertainment. And you know what casuals don't know? Everything. They're not going to know about this New Earth shit. Hell, this hasn't even been established in any one of the movies. Closest thing to it has been that Nightmare premonition and the talk of Apocalypse in Justice League.
Yeah.
Other than that, there has been no establishment of new universes. So, leaping right into Black Superman would be tough. It would be a
Not only
rough
that,
move.
but you already have the whole dark side thing to deal with. There are too many plot holes, really.
I just if they're going to go the Black Superman route and not use Michael B. Jordan, I really actually don't want him as Black Superman. To be honest, let's not give.
I don't see him having the acting chops for
Yeah, I don't
Superman.
see that at all.
And yeah, I'm gonna say it. He wasn't good in Black Panther.
Fuck is wrong with you? But
You thought his overacting was good?
yes, I
He came
did.
across as a super comic book. He came across as what's that dude's name in the second villain in the first season of Luke Cage? Diamondback.
Bushmaster.
No, Diamondback.
Oh, you're talking about Diamondback.
Season one.
Season 1? Oh, yeah. Diamondback.
I would compare him to Diamondback.
Man, the latter half of Luke Cage kind of fizzled out. They got rid of
First one or
Porno.
second one?
The first season.
Okay,
The
I'm
latter
still
half of the first season? Oh, you're still in the second season?
yeah.
I told you the pacing gets really, really awful. But, the first season, I loved Cornell Stokes. I thought he was a really layered individual as a villain. But killing him so early was just you had to replace him with Diamondback, and Diamondback was threatening, but he was like a cartoon.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah,
Killmonger seemed like a cartoon.
I don't
Seemed
agree.
like a pro-black cartoon character.
Black
That's how.
man.
Like I said, I can understand why people thought he was cool, but
I don't know. I really enjoyed Killmonger, to be honest.
yeah,
He
so
gave
did
me.
I. But I'm like, I'm here for the throne. Dum bum 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 bum.
I mean, he had all this searing rage built up inside of him since he was a child, and learning about his, you know,
Oh
his
yeah,
his
I
blood
felt
right.
pain. I expected someone who would be a bit more calm, seeing as how he was a strategic assassin who
Well,
worked for the government.
well, here's the thing. He grew up in the hood, and
Oh come on! Not
I,
everybody from the hood is like that.
I mean, but a lot of people are. So it's
And,
not
but we're
exactly
talking about someone
unrealistic.
who made it into the government, though.
Um, I mean, I still know people like that in the military. And more importantly, it was kind of implied that he's kill hungry
Yeah.
because he had so many kills on his body. Hint, hint, Killmonger. I feel like he nailed that role. He was easily one of the best villains.
I don't know. What's the girl's name? Hela,
Um,
Thor Ragnarok.
oh hella yeah.
Yeah, I sympathize with her character a lot more.
I mean, I can understand that. Like, I'm not
Like
saying
she was literally raised into war, and then Pops is like, "Hey, look, we got to keep all of this a secret, so you're gonna have to tone it down a bit. We're good people now." The daughter has been indoctrinated into this belief of being a conqueror, and you're going to punish her for that by sending her off, by casting her away. So when she comes back, she's like, "Hey, this is all I know."
I
So
mean
she was more of a victim to me than Killmonger.
I mean you can have
Like
that, but
I sympathize with them both, but for me, Hela was like Hela had no choice. Killmonger, his views on certain things were unclear. They didn't make any sense by his actions contradicted his views,
oh
or
yeah,
rather,
that's kind of the point.
yeah.
That's the point. The thing is, when he found out he was abandoned by a royal throne, I
Oh,
mean,
but
and
I'm talking about like I didn't have a problem with him, treating the Wakandans like shit. I'm talking about just black people in general. Like, I didn't feel like
he
he wanted.
believed
I didn't feel like he wanted to push the black race forward. I just felt like he wanted to use his anger and his the way he was treated as an excuse to take over.
that's what Hoteps believe. Like, that's what I said as soon as the movie came out. Killmonger is a Hotep. You should not be identifying with him because he
Yeah,
is
many people
dangerous.
did for some reason.
the whole point of the whole point of Killmonger was supposed to be that you're supposed to sympathize with him but not idolize him. He was intentionally designed to be wrong.
Hmm.
That was the whole point. And yet,
Kind of like the Killing Jokes Joker.
what, where he was designed to be wrong? Yeah, where
Well,
yeah,
he
yeah,
he was designed to have a backstory that you could sympathize with.
yeah. But his, end point was flawed.
Yeah.
Like, everybody could turn into him after one bad day. And no, it's not true. Commissioner Gordon actually proves that storyline false when Commissioner Gordon doesn't crack after seeing his daughter raped.
Yeah.
Impressive, man. Couldn't be me. Could not be
Me
fucking me.
neither.
Yeah, I would slit his fucking throat. The end.
Here you have a villain who paralyzes and rapes your daughter,
Yep.
or implied that your daughter's
He,
raped.
he's getting batarang shoved up his ass.
And I just felt, well, the book is like maybe Batman killed him afterwards, maybe he didn't. I don't even know if it's canon or not.
What, in the book? No, he didn't
Yeah,
kill
if
him.
if the I guess it is canon. Yeah.
He didn't kill him. There was no killing at the end of the Killing Joke.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the rest of the panels were black. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it
That's
was implied that the police came. The
you sure?
sirens. Yeah, the sirens
Oh,
are coming.
I gotta look back. Look
I
that.
remember those last panels because they are just iconic.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was laughing because the police were coming, and the Joker, told a funny joke. It was kind of heartbreaking at the same time. Just yeah. But yeah, in these panels here, I have it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and post it in the chat. Uh, in these panels here, you can see that not share screen. I'm still getting used to the new Skype. Fuck off. Fuck off. There we go.
I have no idea why they keep.
There we go. In these panels here, you can see the police siren lights in the middle one. It's implied he got taken back to Arkham, pretty much. And you can see that
Yeah, Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
So, but even then, like the point of Killmonger was he's fucking wrong. That's the whole point of him. He was supposed to be wrong. That's why I liked him because he was just over the top like a Hotep.
Hmm.
I got it immediately. I was like, yo, you a sick one for this one. Damn, what was? I forgot the director's name. Uh, what is his name? Coogler. There we go. Ryan Coogler. I was like, yo, Ryan Coogler, you the god. Thank
I
you.
mean, but y- yeah, I could definitely believe that after watching Creed. Because again, you had that moment of colorism in Creed as well.
Mm,
There, a lot of topics were discussed in Creed that I thought, yeah, this director definitely has some insight
yeah,
and wants to share his, views on certain people in the black community. So yeah, I can see your hotel.
yeah. That was it. Was a good way of weaving it in too, and I think Michael B. Jordan sold it like pretty well because
Yeah.
I believe if a Hotep got power, that's exactly what he would do. My brothers, we must facilitate, proliferate our brethren. I feel like that is exactly how he would handle it. Like, that's how I feel about it anyway. Like I said, I understand that his acting was a little hammy
Yeah.
because I just feel like a Hotep would be hammy.
True. Yeah. Because yeah, everyone I've seen. Yeah.
I know a couple people who are going down that Hotep route, so I'm seeing them on social media. One of them's tragic. The other one is kind of funny. But yeah, I think Michael B. Jordan as Superman.
I
See
just can't see it.
him being because I only knew him from The Wire previously. Didn't really watch him in other things, but he has a tendency to play really emotional characters. You know, Wallace was an emotional character. Creed, Hillmonger. I don't think he could play someone who has an immovable iron will.
It was stoic.
Yeah, like Superman. I just don't see it. I can definitely see Idris Elba doing it. You know, that's funny. That's the only two black people we can think of for
Superman. Yeah.
superheroes. I
I
mean,
mean, you have Wesley Snipes.
oh man, I can't wait. Oh, gimme. Sorry, just put him back in the MCU.
I mean, but yeah, they're those two are the most prominent right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if they could give an underrated or an unknown actor,
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it if I were them. It's just sinking ship.
it is a sinking ship. That's probably why they would do it. Put your money on someone who doesn't have a high salary. I mean, hell, a lot of really good things came out of unknown actors. Christopher Reeve was unknown before Superman,
Yeah,
so who knows? A lot of the characters acting in The Wire were unknown, and
yeah. A lot of black folks are unknown in big things originally. Like I
yeah,
said, Dead Presidents is filled with unknown black actors.
and you know what? They'll probably get this really good role down the line. It's like, wow, they were in this.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
pretty much.
I think that they shouldn't go that route, but they should definitely kick off Icon. I mean, even though we just had Black Panther this year, Icon,
Honestly, Icon would be better for a TV series because it's not just Icon; it's Icon and Rocket. Like they're inseparable.
I think that Warner Bros. Will find a way to separate them.
Ugh. Like I said, if you read the Icon comic books, they need Icon needs Rocket and Rocket needs Icon to balance off of one another
Right.
because they're two different perspectives on
Right.
black issues. You have
Right.
one who's like a conservative black superhero because of he's actually an alien, so
Correct.
he has a bias, of course.
Hmm.
But you have the other one who, Rocket is actually in the ghetto. So he's dealing with all these black issues. He knows, hey, um, we're just trying to get by. So, and then Icon is confused, but Icon has also been. I'm trying to quote what Rocket said, but basically Rocket was like, you may have you may have you may have grown as a black man, but you haven't struggled as one because nothing can really hurt you physically.
Exact.
And
I
then
think I'm.
Icon responds, "That may be so, but I'm still affected emotionally." So it's a great series.
Hmm.
Dwayne McDuffie did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah, and I think I remember reading a couple of those panels. I do
I,
need
I
to.
guess I'm a bit. I say TV series because there's so much in those comic books that I don't think could fit in a single movie.
But I don't want that to be covered in low budget. That's my thing. I like Black Lightning.
I mean, Black Lightning's doing a pretty good job with the whole, yeah.
Yeah, I do like Black Lightning, but think about what they could do with more budget. And also Jefferson Cress Williams, he's a little stiff on the action.
He's a bit older too, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't throw quite a satisfying punch. So I think with a little bit more money, of course, Arrow was able to pull off some fantastic action sequences with low budget.
Yeah, then Daredevil came in and made it all seem
You know, that's
small.
that's where they should go. I think if they're gonna do Icon, they should put them on Netflix or HBO or AMC or
Well, it would be
Satellite.
on the DC streaming service.
Don't do that. No one's gonna buy it. I'm really hyped for it. I'm not gonna lie. I may get 1 month, but no one's gonna buy that shit.
This
Right?
was an entirely different Goodwill from the
no one's gonna,
previous episode.
no one's going to buy it. Please stop. Okay, like I'm seeing more scenes from Titans, and a lot of what they're selling out on the DC app is available elsewhere for free.
Yeah.
The DC movies, it's older movies in HD. You can see a lot of these movies on separate streaming services or even on TV sometimes for free or for your subscription
That
fee
is
to those
so true
services.
because Batman Beyond was actually on a movie channel and it was the uncut version. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
or the cost of your subscription fee. They have forums that are going to be for keeping up with the, you know, like I said, I think that's a great idea because the casuals could finally uh, get to meet the hardcore fans who've been in it for 20, 30, 40 years, reading the comics every week, having poll lists and whatnot.
Yeah, but the problem is you're expecting them to meet up when there are other forums that are more prominent
That's
that
precisely my
just
point.
stay at.
I think it's a good idea, but it's late in the game. And
Yeah.
relegating it to an app as opposed to like an actual official forum that will be connected to the app is a bad idea. So, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but you're late in the game. There's
Yeah.
already established Reddits, forums, Comic Vine, Anime Vice, Killer Movies, Comic Book Reader, Comic Book Resource, Screen Rant. There's so many places to discuss this stuff that introducing a new one isn't exact. It's not going to fail right off the bat. I don't think it'll fail, but I don't think it'll get as much success
It's
as
not going
people
to be
think.
popping.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be like a post maybe every the week. That's what I think. Because you have to pay for this. All those other forums and websites are free. Why would I pay to go talk to somebody on a forum?
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a feature that's cool, but you gotta pay for it. What else? It has comics. There are plenty of places to get comics digitally and in comic book shops. Everything that DCU is offering is basically on the premise of a DC super fan. I think maybe somebody who's doesn't have enough money for a pull list may be able to
Yeah,
get the comics, but I don't know if it's going to be every comic that DC has or if it's going to be like a rotating roster. So, like I said, we'll see. It's like Netflix for DC, but if you already have Netflix, Hulu, already know the bevy of websites and whatnot, eh,
yeah.
I mean, the only thing people are probably going to get it for is the exclusives, and if the exclusives suck dick, then who cares?
Or if the exclusives get leaked, then
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think I'm not giving them enough credit because Young Justice is coming to the DCU platform.
for what, a season or yeah,
Whole
one
season.
final season.
Yeah, Outsiders. So I think that's going to draw maybe numbers in the beginning. But if they don't release a project that people like, because Titans is not getting a good rap right now, if they don't release a project that people like, that is going to lose numbers. That is going to lose numbers fast. And that's why I'm like, just don't put Icon on that. That's just rude.
CW then.
At least. Like, don't put one of the best black heroes on your fucking
I mean,
streaming
if
service.
you've seen, because Superman's already on Supergirl, but
Tyler
it's
Hoechlin does not fill out that suit.
yeah.
I mean,
He's what's remember that what's that Flashpoint? He's Flashpoint Superman, all skinny, shriveled
yeah,
up.
emaciated. Yeah, he wasn't a bad guy, but I need more beef on my Superman.
Yeah, no homo.
No homo. Super pause. So, yeah, that's. And Krypton is getting its own show on Sci-Fi. You know, the place that nobody really
Oh, Krypton's
explores.
been on for quite some time.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I, yeah,
So,
I've seen a couple of episodes. It's definitely an interesting show. They're trying something new. You know, time travel, Black Zod, which I actually don't have a problem with.
oh, great. I'm going to not like it. Awesome.
I mean, he does a very good job at playing Zod.
He's black?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't like it. I mean, I've already made my stance on this clear.
See, for me, it's well, it'll take too long to get into the whole black washing, white washing thing. Is if the reason is we need more black characters in the show, then I'm like no. But if it's like a character where a black actor fills the role better than all the other white actors in the room, then go for it.
Man, what the fuck? No. Look,
I mean, for me, I'm just like if I don't own the character, I don't care anymore. And that's how
I
that's
see it.
where I'm at.
I see it as really unfair. It's so fucked up. Because I said the same thing about Domino and Heimdall and all this other shit where they just and Jimmy Olsen, Mr. Steal Your Girl, Mr.
That
Tyrone,
didn't
thick
make
and
any sense
strong.
at all. All right, at all.
And that's
I'm getting mad right now.
like he looks like he'd appear in a fucking viral video saying he's gonna fuck my wife.
But you know what? Going back to General Zod just for a second, this could be taking place in a different universe where Zod is black. So
That could be the case. Was it
so
stated?
that and I'm not sure. I haven't seen all the episodes from beginning to end. Just a handful of them.
Yeah, I gotta finish
Um,
all that up.
But yeah, for me, Michael Shannon is the definitive General Zod at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He was.
Did a fantastic job.
Wow, no.
It's a shame that they wasted him by killing him off, but yeah.
Yeah, that's. It's because David Goyer thought it'd be something to try. Stupid fucker. Fuck him. But either way, my just a quick rant on that. The reason I said it's not fair is because if you put a black actor in a role of a character that is classically white, what if
Yeah, I have a big issue with that.
what if some black person sees that, like say Domino, they see he's played by Zazie Beetz, and they're like, "Ooh, I want to get into the comics and read more Domino." And surprise, she's white, and the only time you're gonna see her as black is in the Deadpool films every couple of years.
Yeah.
Have fun, asshole.
Well, again, for me, it's like how prominent is the character. For someone like Jimmy Olsen, like I didn't like what they did with Jimmy Olsen and Batman v Superman. It was an interesting take, but
That was the
again, they
stupidest thing.
wasted him
Yeah.
by killing him off in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah. What you call it?
With someone like Jimmy Olsen and Supergirl, he's not this huge black guy who could take on Superman you know, outside of the show. You know,
I
like
mean,
he's a
yeah,
small, fragile, white, redheaded dude.
exactly. That's how he's always been. He's been that way for 80 years. There's no need to just put this super tall black actor there because you want to not be seen as a white uh, show that's exclusionary. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You could just create a new character.
That and my biggest problem is whenever they want diversity, it's always a black person. There's so many other races out there.
Yeah, there is. It's
Like
tough to.
if we really want to get past this whole blackwashing, whitewashing thing, then hey, maybe let's see. I'm
add
trying to
some
think of a
more
black
add
character.
some more colors to wash. Let's get some yellow and brown washing.
I'm trying to think. Why couldn't Domino be played by an Asian girl? Well, why can't Deadpool be played by a Hispanic dude?
I just don't because it's not fair to the minorities. It's just not fair. The problem
It's
is
not. I'm just thinking like on the whole quote unquote washing thing. Honestly, I would prefer if all the characters stayed the same unless there was an actual, like, for instance, Preacher, the one of the main characters. I forgot her name, but she's white in the comics and she's played by I forgot the actress name, but she's black. And the main character, the Preacher, white dude, of course, played by a white dude. However, the big thing is that these actors are married to each other in real life. So the chemistry in the show is very good.
I mean,
So I can get over the race change of the female character because of how amazing the acting and chemistry is between the two. And sometimes that's a big deal, chemistry between two actors.
I'll never. For me, it starts off with a flawed premise, so I'll never get over it. I don't. They could do the best acting job in the world. To me, it's not about the acting. It's about the fact that you're gypping people out of representation, and you're not actually addressing the root cause of the problem.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, people go and they
Because
ask why
remember,
I'm mad at it.
yeah, remember when I was talking about what's the name, Mr. Miracle or Mr. Fantastic? Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Fantastic in Arrow. I said they made him
Mr. Terrific.
yeah, Mr. Terrific. Yes, they made him they made his character gay, and I'm like, you guys could easily introduce. There are so many gay characters in the DC universe. You don't have to change that character and make him gay.
Right.
You could have introduced Midnighter, who is kind of like Batman, crazy, and he's also gay, and he's openly gay.
And he's
You know?
super violent.
Yes.
Like, so that's the thing. I feel like that is a problem. And how did we get here? Shit.
I don't know. This is a discussion for another podcast.
Just,
But it's a good discussion.
it is a
We're
very
gonna
good
have to
discussion.
put that on the
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll have to talk about that later. We're- we were talking about the importance of Icon and not putting him on a service that's probably not going to hit numbers on release.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't do that to him. That's rude. Just don't. I would rather see him on CW at the minimum, or some high budget stuff like AMC. I think Walking Dead had great sequences and a lot of cool moments with their budget. So give us something similar to that, or a Breaking Bad budget. AMC's got some pretty good shows.
Yeah.
So I think Icon is too important to get this shitty TV treatment. And Black Lightning is cool, but it's kind of easy to spot that he has a
Well, when
limited
we were
budget.
talking about Michael Jordan's Black Superman, Icon is also from a different universe, so you'd still have to explain why is Icon here.
Not necessarily. Just explain he's from an alien planet. Because the thing is, Superman is an established role. Icon is there isn't an Icon in the DCEU, so Icon just showing up, you don't need to say, well, he's a different Icon. Just or don't
Oh
say
no,
he's
I
from
mean like the universes are separate.
yeah. I mean
Icon, Static, they all exist, and I forgot. I think it's
Dakota.
Earth M or something like that. Yeah,
You can just make that in the DCEU. Like I said, as long as it's not established that these characters, you know,
yeah. I guess I see
yeah,
what you're saying. Separate medium, so
yeah,
use creative rights. Got it.
yeah. Like you don't need to just I'm from a different universe if it's not necessary.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and Icon himself is just a cool character. Give him a proper treatment. I know they won't, but I wish they would. I'm just waiting to see how they handle Virgil.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the most important things to look out for.
But overall, like DC right now, shitstorm, complete shitstorm.
I've given up on it.
Same. I can't. I honestly just cannot see myself reading DC Comics right now. There's just with the directions they're going in with the crisis thing. There's no need for a fucking crisis. We just had a mini crisis with reboot or rebirth, technically. Well, we had a huge universe-wide crisis with Flashpoint, and then we had a mini reboot with Rebirth, and now 2 years later we need another like universe crash. We don't need that because
Yeah,
it's gonna be big. I already know somebody's probably gonna get murdered, and it's probably Tim Drake. It's Tim Drake. Tim Drake's gonna get murdered, and then some shit's gonna happen, and everybody's gonna be sad, and this is not gonna be a good event at all.
yeah, I definitely agree.
Because oh my god, I just can't stand. Yeah, and then the DC TV, it's lukewarm. They're getting Ruby Rose for Batwoman, different character.
Of course, there was backlash for that for some reason. I can't keep up with all the
Wasn't she good in John
nonsense.
Wick? I mean,
She was very good in John Wick too.
then it should be fine and shut the fuck up. But then again, I'm not them, so the public discourse there is casuals like Ruby Rose is gonna bring SJW shit or
It's
something.
because I think the actress isn't Jewish, and Batwoman in the comics is Jewish.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Uh, really? I didn't know that about her.
this is new. I didn't know you actually had to be the religion of the character you're playing nowadays.
Well, Jewish people are generally of Israeli descent.
Hmm.
So I can see how that would kind of be a point of contention.
I mean, they got the lesbian thing down.
Whew, I don't know if I want to touch that one for now. I don't think because I can see where people would have a problem with that. So I'm not going to join in on that.
Oh wow, it's been an hour already.
Yeah. We've been talking about a lot of things. I now could see the point. I didn't know that it was about her ethnicity.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought people were just wilding out because uh, women, sexism, general sexism. I didn't pay that much attention to it, to be perfectly honest, because I haven't kept up with Arrowverse in a very long time. But either way, yeah, the TV is whatever. It's lukewarm to me. I'm not interested in any of the shows on right now. I'm more interested in the movies, and the movies is also a shit show. Just
Yeah.
like we might be losing Superman, we might be losing Batman, so they hope to pick up the slack with Supergirl, who has a TV show right now. This is confusing.
It's yeah.
It's a
I
mess. It's so ridiculous. It's like they're operating in the same space for no reason. And you're just gonna mess with your money one way or another.
yeah, they're too far gone right now.
Exactly. Like I said, who knows where to go from here. I personally have been on a tirade. Every time I look back at the conflict of this week alone, it's just been tragic. I get mad all over again. I don't like feeling mad at DC. I like DC Comics. I love Superman. I love Batman. Green Lanterns, The Flash, The Martian Manhunter is one of the coolest comic book characters ever created. And yet, the way they're treating all these properties, like shit.
Yeah.
And I spend my hard-earned money to read, watch, or whatever. It it feels bad, man. Feels bad.
See, this is why I used to start bootlegging comics.
Nope. I don't advocate for it.
I do, guys.
Terrible. One day you're gonna be a content creator.
Oh, I'm gonna get bootlegged so hard.
Yep,
That's that karma coming after me.
indeed. Buy your comics, kids. Don't be him. Don't you have a comic book coming up?
I do. I do. I think I'm gonna give it away for free.
Oh, getting cold feet.
This is what you should do, DC. Be me.
Be me. Just give it away for free. Ask for Patreon bucks.
Donate to the Patreon. Donate to the Kickstarter.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like I vented enough. I feel like I've gotten it off my chest.
This was a good therapy session.
Yeah, yeah. It was great, but I'm still gonna need the headache pills for this week, just to
Just a
just for
little Advil, a little cocaine.
a little bit, just a little bit, just to get me going. Start off.
Nothing wrong with a little nose candy.
Yeah, nothing wrong. The good sweetness. But either way, yeah, I don't. I don't want to be mad at DC. I'm just really disappointed. And when the ultimate decision where they come down and say, "Oh yeah, we fired Henry Cavill," no, for real, like they did Zack Snyder. I mean, I'm just gonna need like multiple pain prescriptions. Probably gonna hurt myself.
See, I'm so glad I'm off the wagon.
You should really get on it. It's fun. What do you mean?
Oh no, it sounds like an emotional headache. You already saw what happened to me with Star Wars. All right, I'm good. I don't need to obsess over anything.
Yeah. Yep. I can fully understand that. I can fully understand that. Although I do think you're being hard on that whole resistance thing.
Uh, I'll watch one episode.
I think the CG looks great.
It's just everything else, the story, characters.
I think a reason to explore this version of the universe is a good thing. Who knows? Maybe you might get some new favorites.
Maybe.
Maybe. But either way, that's all we have time for here. This has been Cosmic Source, where we have discussed for an hour.
So much.
We discussed a lot of things. I'm Matt. I'm Gold Will.
Electronic Jack, aka Linwood Storm, baby.
And we are signing out.
Peace.